Hello everyone, I'm AD Mohammed Hassan. So software engineering practices என்னோட டாபிக் என்னன்னா test driven development, that is TDD. So TDD is a software development approach in which test cases are developed to specify and validate what the code will do. So the simpler சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா, for each functionality a test case is created, that is a code. So அந்த கோடை ரன் பண்ணுவாங்க. So if that code fails, அதே கோடை எந்த ஒரு மீனிங்குமே மாறாமல் ஜஸ்ட் பக் ஃப்ரீயாகவும் சிம்பிளாகவும் டைப் பண்ணி they again run that code till the code passes the test. Test driven development starts with designing and developing tests for every small functionality of an application. TDD framework instructs developers to write new code only if an automated test has failed. This avoids duplication of code. The TDD full form is test driven development. So next நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது என்னென்னா phases of TDD. So there are 3 phases. Write a failing test, make the test pass, refactor. So read, understand and act on requests for features of problems. Write a test unit for translating the requirement. If you have enabled hard reload, the unit test will start but fail since no code has yet been implemented. The needed code is created and implemented. All tests should pass. Repeat this step if not. Refactor your code to make it easier to read. So the next step we're going to see is a flowchart for test driven development. So in the flowchart ரொம்ப சிம்பிளாக தான் இருக்கும். So we have to start here, feature request, and then we have to write a test, that is a code, and then அந்த code fail ஆனதுக்கப்புறம் we have to write a new code with the same meaning. எதுவுமே மாறாமல் அதே மீனிங்கில் we have to write a new code. So அந்த new code வந்து we have to write it bug free and simple. So அந்த code வந்து clean code, that is சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லான கோடாக வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் we have to repeat the whole process, that is iterate. So இதில் இந்த ஃப்ளோ சார்ட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த ரெட் க்ரீன் அண்ட் ப்ளூ கலர் என்ன அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு we can see that in the next slide. So now we're going to see what that 3 color code indicates. So first the red one shows that the code does not function properly, and the green one shows this phase indicates that all is okay but not optimally, and the blue one, the final one, shows that this shows that the tester is refactoring the code but is sure that their code is covered by tests, allowing them to alter and enhance our code. So next slide நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது என்னென்னா how to perform TDD test. So the first step is add a test, run all tests and see if any new test fails. Write some code, run test and refactor code, and we have to repeat the whole process. ஸோ அதோட ஃப்ளோ சார்ட் வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் சிம்பிளாகவே எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட் we have to add a test and execute the test. Suppose அந்த டெஸ்ட் ஃபெயில் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா we have to make changes to the code. But suppose அந்த டெஸ்ட் பாஸ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா we can move on to the next code. ஸோ இப்போ ஃபெயில் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா we have to make changes to the code and we have to again execute the test. ஸோ மறுபடியும் அதுவும் ஃபெயில் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா then again we have to make changes to the code and then we have to execute the test. And அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த டெஸ்ட் பாஸ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா we can move on to the next code and we have to repeat the whole process. ஸோ அடுத்த ஸ்லைடில் நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம் அப்படின்னா the 2 levels of TDD. So the first level is acceptance TDD and developer TDD. So what is acceptance TDD? அது வந்து ஷார்ட் ஃபார்மில் ATDன்னு சொல்லலாம். So ATDD, you write a single acceptance test. This test fulfills the requirement of the specification or satisfies the behavior of the system. After that, write just enough production code to fulfill that acceptance test. Acceptance test focuses on the overall behavior of the system. ATDD also was known as behavioral driven development. So next we're going to see what is developer TDD. So with developer TDD, you write single developer test, that is unit test, and then just enough production code to fulfill that test. The unit test focuses on every small functionality of the system. Developer TDD is also called as a normal TDD. The main goal of ATDD and TDD is to specify detailed executable requirements for your solution on a just-in-time, that is JIT. So JIT means taking only those requirements in consideration that are needed in the system, so increase efficiency. ஸோ இப்போ நான் ரீட் பண்ண அந்த 2 levels of TDD வந்து இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைடில் சிம்பிளாக அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டபிள் ஃபார்மில் ஒரு ஃப்ளோ சார்ட்டை போட்டு கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ இட்ஸ் pretty easy to understand than to read that whole 2 paragraph. In the last slide, we are going to see the advantages of TDD. The first one is early bug notification, better design, cleaner and more extensible code, confidence to refactor, good for teamwork and good for developers. So these are the advantages of TDD. So that's it. This is my project for software engineering practices. Thank you.